mean, there was no reason denying me at that point. It actually was a breakthrough point in the relationship there because, you know, it kind of got out in the open. And I think Chris hearing what kind of feedback that was being, you know, generated, I think he actually, as a mature man, said, "I don't know, maybe I need to take a look at this." And in fact, the next time back was much different. He also got his ass chewed out because the episode went like a day and a half over. But part of that was the immenseness of working in that environment. So that was one of my fun stories about that.
Good one, good one.
Yeah.
We all know what you did for us, and thank you for that. And awesome. What was the most outrageous, off-the-wall, gutsiest, color outside the lines favor or job you did on the set? Because you glued all sorts of things together, and as an addendum, I have some information on something that you were missing in the mail. The postmaster has located it.
Oh, really? The postmaster?
I think the question was, what was one of the more outrageous things that I had to handle?
Or
Sort of like
did,
in my
what did you
process of
color
work.
outside the walls?
Well, everyone, most people that know me and know a bit about me know that I have a pretty significant relationship with Riley and Linda. Obviously spending 60 to 70 hours a day with people at work sort of cements a quality of relationship that is almost inseparable after the completion of something like this. And at late stages of second season, things were a little difficult in several of our lives outside of the zone of the show. And we were all having personal traumas because our relationships, our families, our spouses were not really the significant things in our lives. It was significant in my life as well as Linda's and Ron's. So there was a lot of energy that we were all bringing to the set that sometimes got transferred onto the work we were doing, not on the screen, but sort of like in the preparation. And my relationship with Linda at that point was very significant, and we spent a lot of time, because I would drive Linda home. We lived in the same area of town. So I would spend time driving in the car with Linda, and we got a chance to sort of detoxify a little and ground either on the way in the morning or on the way home. Very unique experience to have with someone as powerful as Linda and as emotionally charged as Linda. And also something I think in many regards, and that's probably why we're all still here asking about these things, very far removed from the normal way Hollywood works. I mean, I will tell you, I'm probably one of the more blessed people that ever have worked in the industry. Because of this position, I got this opportunity to do what I did on Beauty and the Beast was sort of like, I was just asked, they didn't know they were asking me to do this, but I was really asked to be me, show up there and transfer whatever it is about me that is either positive to the universe or not, and make an impact on 115 people every day. That's not what they asked for specifically. I don't think they knew what they were asking for. In fact, I know they didn't know what they were asking for. But the way I was able to sort of choose to be assisted in the fact that it was much more than JOB, and I've talked about that with a lot of you before. It was something that was very personal. So at this point in our lives, Linda was, there was all these comments about, well, what are we going to do next year? Linda wanting to become pregnant and have a family and move on with her life past, the box of the show. There were several instances that were very painful because it jeopardized our relationship as friends because we chose sides of how to be at work. I mean, I had to be a certain way when push came to shove because of dollars and cents, and that's normally not an issue that I'm most concerned with. My most significant concern was the quality and how it was transferred from the page, or how it wasn't even available on the page, how it showed up on the screen. But I guess the bottom line is, there was a period at one point, and I don't remember when, but I remember around the time where Linda and I sort of had this big push and shoving match, not physical, but spiritual and emotional, and like the line was drawn, and that sort of reverberated through the set, because everybody, I was not the kind of guy that everyone that you saw a nasty side to, or saw, I was never pushed in a corner where I would have to react. Most of the situations that got handled at work were by me taking a sort of preemptive action to sort of alleviate anything that I thought that could get in the way of the creative So that was really painful because for 8 days we didn't speak. It was, other than Linda sort of mumbling under her breath, much more significantly caustic remarks than were said about Chris Lage, I would say. And very close to rage. And it came to the point where I often thought, well, I wonder how this is going to get cleaned up. But it did, in a big way. But that was probably the most painfully difficult thing to do, was to get through that period. Because everybody else was sort of hanging in this kind of heavy mist. They knew that Linda could jump at any point, and how was I going to deal with it? Because no one had seen me at that point blow up. And it doesn't happen often, but I guess a person like me, when I do lose it, it's sort of, it's horrifying. Let me tell you, fur everywhere. Does that answer the question? It's sort of a lot deeper than Tom's lid. That's kind of the heavy kind of stuff that went down. How did I resolve it? I kidnapped her dog, Bosco. You ever want to see Bosco? Well, I guess, again, short-term memory. It was Eric's birthday, actually, one day, about a week into this. Eric was, I just spoke with it the other day, and it puts a smile on my face just thinking about it. He lives in San Francisco. He was Ron's wardrobe maven. He was the dresser. Anybody that was ever close to the set while we were making it always heard, there were two names that were sort of shouted at Beast's end. One was Schwartz, and the other was Eric! The call for the cake. So Ron would always position himself in a way that it didn't matter if Eric was literally 6 feet, 6 inches, a millimeter behind him. It was like, Eric! So, and then Eric was sort of flashing out. He dare not try that with Margaret. It was like once I think he got out of it, and he felt the glove with the nails going to his neck. She, oh, God. Margaret was a woman of maybe 7 words in the entire 56 episode experience. One of the true blessings of the universe, being an artistic, grounded spirit. And yeah, Ron was not going to be like Margaret, I guarantee it. But what was the question? Oh, right. So it was Eric's birthday. We bought him a barbecue. And I had to go around and get money for him. We bought him like a barbecue and a CD player. So you know how that sort of figures in. The best of the briquettes. Okay, somebody put something in this water. Stephen Theodore and June, thank you very much for stopping by. How long have you been standing there? Oh, so you haven't heard anything I said about, that's a friend of mine, Las Vegas director and camera person, and quite the wonderful person, Stephen Theodore, and he's one of the people that I'm involved with now. Can I answer that question? So the resolution came by the fact that there was some levity now brought up the set, because it was Linda and I were sort of like, kind of, literally around this birthday cake. And I truly remember, that moment when idiots at weddings do the pushy with the cake? And everyone's in there going, he's not going to do that. That gown is like $2,800. And he does it anyway. And people go, so there was that moment where Linda had a piece of cake and everyone was like, she's going to push it in his face, she's going to push it in his face. And in fact, she pushed it in my face. And it's tough being angry at someone with like happy and some sort of sugar smeared across your face. Yeah. She, by the way, still has never seen her dog Bosco. Next question. So, I have a question. Oh, okay, I'll let you ask her. Yes.
And she's
She's doing great, actually. I'm going to see Linda Tuesday because I'm going to the premiere of True Lies in Hollywood. That's Jim Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger's new movie. So I will see Linda on Tuesday.